So again, 1.2.5 is what we're doing today. At bare bones, what it is you're going to make one 3D model, and that's it. I just want a screenshot of that first 3D model. Second thing we're doing, we're making another model, but so that we could make a dimensioned multi-view drawing like we've been doing before. This one, the first model, there's specific instructions. Like sketch this, revolve this, fill it. It gives you step by step, but we're introducing the revolve feature, and then I think it's the fillet that we use. There are two new features you might not have used before. They're pretty straightforward. I can show you a quick example, but the first model walks step by step. Second one you make on your own, and then you make a a multi-view drawing, just like the one you'll see. That's how you make the part from. Well, you'll make your own multi-view and dimension it, and then I want that PDF of that dimension multi-view. So today what you're turning in is a snapshot of the first model, that's it, and then a PDF of your multi-view drawing from that second part. And again, really the goal is to kind of continue practice multi-view drawing and dimensioning, but also just your basic 3D modeling skills. That first one will do a revolve and a fillet. They're really simple, but I'll show you just generally how to do that. Drew, did you have a question?
You got it.
Ask one of your classmates if you got one. I don't pass mine out. The first thing I guess I want to do is I'll show you. So go ahead, you guys. I want you to just watch. I just want to introduce the revolve and the fillet feature. Once you get there, this is the part that you're going to make. It's got step-by-step instructions on how to do it. You just got to actually do it yourself. But I want to at least show you where those features are in Onshape and then how to use them.
You said 1.2.5, right?
Correct. Yep. No. So this is the part you're going to make first to show you, again, step by step. It shows you exactly what to draw. Right? To give you an example of the revolve feature, let's say I make my sketch on the front surface. I'm going to just sketch a rectangle. Right now I don't care the size of it. Alright, so I exited my sketch. When I do the revolve feature right here, actually first, again, when you hover, it'll tell you what to do. You need some region, face, or edge, right? You need to revolve something. Then it says specify if it's a new part or a surface, and if you're adding or removing. Well, typically you're going to make a new shape, so keep it as add, and then you need the sketch line for the axis. So right now it's asking me, hey, what do you want to revolve? Well, I want to revolve my rectangle. Now it's asking me, wait, a revolve means a rotation about some axis. So I need to tell it, hey, I want it to revolve around this axis. You're going to let me pick it? Oh, I was in the wrong spot. So first I clicked the rectangle I drew. That's what I wanted to revolve. Then I clicked in this revolve axis and I told it, hey, I want you to rotate this shape about this axis. I want to make a new part in this case, because I haven't made anything yet. Boom. But that's all the revolve feature is. You need to select what shape you wanting to revolve and where you want it to revolve around. Right? That's the two things it needs. The other command that you'll use, it has this thing called a fillet. A fillet is right here. It's also called a round. You just round off an edge. So what it wants you to say is, what do you want to fillet? Well, just pick some edge. Do you see how it rounded that sharp edge? And I can change how big it is. If I want a really big, I'll make my radius huge. Or you can make it really, really small. You can almost barely see it, right? And then the last piece is similar. It's called a chamfer. It's basically a 45-degree cut of your edge, right? Instead of having it be 90 degrees, I want it to be a 45. If I hit chamfer, I do the same thing. I want this edge to be chamfered. Do you see that? It cuts it at a 45-degree angle. So those are the three features that might be kind of new, that you might not have played with, that I want to at least show you where they are. Right? Revolve, fillet, or round. If you hear round, that's what it's called. And then a chamfer. Alright? The other thing that I want to go through before we start, there's a YouTube video that kind of in person demonstrates a lot of the 3D modeling features. So she's actually an engineer, and she's gonna explain in a visual way what all these words mean, like what is an extrude. She'll show you what that actually means. So you'll see the word and the modeling process in addition to like what that actually means in the real world. So I want to watch this quick. Again, there's no audio, it's just like background music. But I want you guys to see the different tools that we're using, and again, connect them with a visual understanding of what that means. So again, she's making sketches and then extruding that to make a 3D object. Or the revolve, that's what you'll do today. So round and fillet, that's the same thing, and I just showed you that one. Some of these are a little complicated. We haven't gotten there yet. We haven't really introduced them. Just kind of figure out or remember what it means to have a pattern, what that function would actually do. Sweeps are fairly complicated. So that's hopefully helps you maybe starting to connect the dots with these terms that we're throwing around, where you're saying fillet and chamfer and extrude and all that. Hopefully that helps you get at least mental understanding of what is a pattern. When I say extrude, what am I actually talking about? And again, a couple of the things that we're doing today. So a reminder, on Classroom, 1.2.5 is there. I made the instructions super simple. I'm telling you to read the intro material on my PLTW. It'll introduce some modeling aspects. Read through that. Basically, I want you to skip to step 5, where it has this part that you need to model. This guy. It's got all the dimensions right there. Right? You can change the units. Onshape defaults to inches. You can easily change to millimeters. Draw or make a 3D model that part, and then I just want the screenshot. That's one thing you're going to submit for today. The next thing I'm having you guys do is go down to step 9. Basically, you're just going to make that part. Make this part and then make your own multi-view drawing of it and recreate what you're seeing. It should be really easy. It tells you all the dimensions. You need to just make the model. Then you just need to make a multi-view. We've done that already. And you need to add dimensions. Well, all the dimensions are listed for you. So you just got to go in and make your multi-view have all the dimensions that this drawing has. So I'm wanting you to make your own multi-view with the dimensions, and then that PDF is the second thing you're submitting. Alright, so a screenshot of the first model from step 5, and then a dimensioned multi-view PDF, just like this, but from the part that you made. That's your second submission. Any questions? Okay. The other thing, if you wanted to change units, right, that part is in millimeters. If you go to this menu in document properties, or excuse me, workspace units, you can change it to run in millimeters. So that way, if I go to my sketch, that's in millimeters now, not inches. So instead of converting every single time, just switch your workspace to millimeters. That way you can follow exactly. Now this one you'll have to switch back to inches. But when you make a new document for this, switch your units to millimeters so you can just copy straight off the dimensioned units. Any questions? All right, I'll turn you loose. Now I got to meet with a couple of you guys. Again, don't forget when you're submitting this assignment, you're submitting to Classroom. You need to submit a screenshot. You can do that within Onshape. And then print a PDF of your multi-view, and those 2 files you attach and submit to Classroom. Again, I still have students submitting blank assignments that there's nothing there, and I can't give you any points because you've submitted essentially a blank sheet of paper. So just a reminder to make sure to be doing that. Yes. Yep. Do you not have a charger? No. It can. It just you need to add it. Does somebody have a charger that Drew can use right now? Just for class, Micah. You'd be willing to let him borrow that for the class? Appreciate it. And Drew, if you wanted to scoot back and work at that table, that way you can plug in. Just make sure Micah gets that back by the end of the class. Huh? It's right there. Right in blue. So you can make sure to thank him before you leave today. Okay, so you already you already made a 3D shape. So you don't want to be doing that. Be working on that first model. So go back to this. Again, step 5 is that model. So you need to be in, yep. First says sketch a rectangle. Finish the sketch. So you extruded it. You inserted an extra step that you don't want. So you want to delete your, right click that and delete that. You just want that sketch. Go back to this. So I would have drawn the sketch on the XY, this front plane. That way you would rotate it. So just start over and do on this plane. Draw your rectangle at the appropriate dimensions. Right, so 20 by 30. And then when you revolve, you're going to select that sketch and revolve it around like the left edge. Kind of like what I did. And it'll take that and rotate it about its own edge. That would create the revolver. I know I'm really what is it that I'm struggling with? How do you use it? Okay, in terms of like what the buttons do, like how do you start? Okay, so one thing, you go here, we can be working on this. We're trying to make this part. This is nice actually. This gives you step by step the process you would use dimensions. You'd make this sketch and revolve it to make some 3D object. Then you'd add another part, extrude that, and then add these kind of finishing touches and then be done. So the first thing it's wanting is sketching a rectangle this size. So if you go here, you're on the front face. So you're in your sketch. Where's the rectangle? Yeah. So I would click once on the origin, right? You're going to place one corner there, and then drag up and to the right, click another spot. So you just sketch your rectangle. Now, first of all, finish that sketch. And then we need to change the millimeters, right? So top left, that 3-bar menu, go to workspace units. Instead of inches at the top, switch it to be millimeters. Because the part we're drawing has dimensions in millimeters. Well, then if you go back to your sketch 1 on the left side, if you double click it, you can reopen it, and then you need to make this the right size. So we're going to use this dimension tool, right? It's going to ask you basically what do you want to dimension. So you can click that top line, and then drag up a little bit. You just click once and then click again where you want the dimension to be placed. So if you pull it away from the object a little bit, and then it's asking like how big is it? So that was 20 millimeters. So you just type in 20. So we already switched the units to millimeters. Yep. And then it's still activated, so it's asking, hey, what else do you need to dimension? So click that vertical line, yep, and then click somewhere away. You just click once, and then you click again where you want to place it. Well, that one was 30 millimeters. Right? So then, that's all we need, 20 by 30 rectangles. So go ahead and click OK, green check. We exited the sketch. You see how these switched again? Now these are our 3D tools. So, if you go back to the instructions, you made that rectangle. Scroll up a little and make sure that's right. Yeah, we did the dimension thing. So if you go down, we finished that switch. Now it's asking us to revolve that rectangle
around the 30 millimeter side. So we need to go find the revolve. Right there. Click it. The blue box is asking you, hey, what shape do you want to revolve? So you're wanting to click this, right? So it says, okay, that's good. It's asking for an axis. So we need to click in the revolve axis window. And it's saying, hey, what do you want to revolve around? I would do the other. So just click escape. And then select the image. Yep. And then click OK. Now if you click this little tiny corner, yep, it'll show you a 3D view. Well, that's what we're wanting so far. And we go back. Now we need to draw the 10 millimeter square at the top of the cylinder. We go back. We need to somehow sketch on the top surface of the cylinder. So if we go to click this little corner in the top right. Click that one. There. Now we want to sketch on that surface. So if you go to sketch, it asks you, hey, what do you want to sketch at? We'll click the top surface of the cylinder. That surface, perfect. It'll make a sketch on that surface. So now we're sketching there. We'll click the top view. It'll only show us where we're wanting to draw. And now it says make a square. If you see that little arrow by the rectangle to that little tiny arrow, there's two options. This one will be helpful. The center point. If you click that, it's going to ask, where do you want the center of your rectangle to be? Well, we want it dead center on our surface. So click that point in the middle. Click that once, and then you can move your mouse, move it up into the side. Yep. So just make some generic rectangle shape and click that. So there's our rectangle. But we needed a 10 millimeter by 10 millimeter. So right now it's actually asking you, hey, this side, what do you want it to be? So just type click escape. So since it didn't go that first time, we'll just dimension it manually. Yeah, and pull it away from the object. Hit escape. I think we did. So reactivate it. Click one of the side lines, and then use your mouse to close the other one. Click OK. It's clicking two things. Click the dimension again. So click the line, right, that guy, and then click the button. See, always you're highlighting this line, and so it's thinking that that's what you want to dimension. So you want this line, but see it's turning that gold. It's going to dimension those two, but we only want one. Right here. We'll just leave it by itself. 10. 10. Right? So that completes this step. Finish it, and then extrude that 15 millimeters. So it says, okay, that sketch that we just made, we want to extrude that. We just want this. And we would type in 15. Because it's telling you the square you just made, extrude that 15. It is. And you can hit enter, and it will show you a preview. And then hit OK. And if you go back to the instructions, we're just going to keep going. Now add a fillet. So this is where we use this new tool. That guy. And it basically asks us what edges do you want around. So we want to pick the edge where the square and the cylinder meet. Yep. And then you're just going to make sure you go around and select all four. Yep. And then you could also, I think, yep, ahead and zoom in. Yeah, it looks like about what we want them to double check. They told us they need to be 5mm fillets. So if we go back, I think it was set correctly. So that's good. Then we're just going to hit OK. We can now fillet it or rounds an edge so that it's not sharp. Go back to your instructions. Now we need a chamfer. Chamfer is like a bevel, like a straight edge to the 90 degrees. So if we go back, also look at your picture. Scroll up. So that's where we put the fillets. We want this chamfer at the very bottom. So if we go to the part, we can click the chamfer. It's right next to fillet. And then if you take 2 fingers and click and rotate it, push it up. There. And keep rotating. Now you can see that bottom edge. That's good. It's saying, hey, what edge do you want to chamfer? Well, see, you got that gold ring highlighted. Is this what you want? Click it. Yep, that's what I want. And oh yeah, that's it. Because it told us a 5mm and 30 degrees. So it's a distance and an angle. And that's why I selected, I don't want distance, I want a distance and an angle. 5mm distance is a 30 degree angle. Boom. And then I'm done. So that was, again, step by step for how you can make this. Now it kind of gave it to you. In the future, you'll end up just hitting the object, and you have to think like, okay, what do I need to make first? You'll make like the main part, add little pieces, and then kind of touch them up as you need to. Does that make more sense than it did? Okay. The basic thing to understand is you're going to almost always, you're going to start with sketches. You make some 2D shape, and then you're either going to like extrude it, pull it into a 3D object. In this case, we made a shape, rectangle, and evolved it. So that's another common name, but extrude is the name. So you make these sketches and pull it into a 3D shape, and then features that you want to add on. Well, make a new sketch. Again, extrude it, make it a 3D shape, and then fill it and chamfer it to like touch up features. But that basic idea is create a sketch on a certain plane where we want to work, and then exit, go back to 3D view, and then make it into a 3D object. And you just keep going to either add things, like we did here. Sometimes you can remove things. You can extrude a whole for material. But that's kind of the general process. What other questions would you have? What else is a little confusing? Okay. Do you remember how to make multi-view drawings in the software? No? I'll show you a really easy one. Down here it lists the parts that you've made. We've made one big part. You click it, it turns gold, which will tell you, like, hey, this is what I'm talking about, exactly what you're doing. You right click, and you create a drawing of that part. This is fine to do the template that goes along. Instead of doing a blank, you do the 4 pieces. It'll actually make it 4 pieces. Then the next part is you won't have to do this yourself. Right? You already made the model. You just need a screenshot. Right? So you're going to go here, print it, zoom in on this so that you take in this box and then you can change. And then again, you screenshot it. So you've already done that. When you make the second picture, you're going to have to make this drawing. And you're going to add dimensions. To do that, it's the same as sketches. You hit creation. You want this on the very bottom. And you just keep going. But anyway, does that make more sense? Okay, very good. Let me know if you need help making, again, the next part of your here. I want you to go to step 9, scroll down to this. I want you to make this, but kind of do it on your own. So you're going to make this cylinder, then you'll make a square, and another cylinder, and then you just put it like this. And let me know if you can. You're going to make a sketch. Where is your okay, you did it on the outside, right? You did all this like this. Is that where you put the cylinder? Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's not.
Okay, so you're good. What you need is just put a circle. So right now, you see how that dotted line is got me down?
That's not right.
So this tells you it's in the middle. I'm going to put this circle. Right? But you're saying, oh, crap, it needs to be half an inch from this. Well, that's no problem. So this is your dimension. I want it from here to here. And then you can go center this circle to the center of the next circle. I want to go 0 here. And you can dimension the size of the circle too. Right? If you want to edit this, right? Double click. Double click and get back. Trey?
Okay, we're looking at trade right there.
Yeah. Yep. You want to just like camp out at one of those.
Shay, what's up?
I'm done.
Huh? You're not dumb. You were gone for a while, weren't you? One, you need to focus on let me know that you were gone and ask me what your makeup work is. Right? Because I need you to get you that stuff so you can get that. When you're doing Onshape, you always create a new document. A document is like a file that you're working on. So this one, you can call it whatever. You missed the R. I was like, are you making a walk? Yeah, it's because you've not done any Onshape. Yeah, so that's why. How long have you been gone? I feel like it was more than that. So there's stuff that you'll need to. You're around for like a week and a half. So this is the last day. Okay. So I'm going to have you work on 1.2.2. Right? So if you go to your one Google Classroom and look for 1.2.2. That was the first day you missed. So these are the instructions. You want to make these shapes in Onshape.
I did some selection.
Click. Should just be a simple PDF.
It's really.
Go back to that course stream thing. There. That's what I want you to make these in Onshape. And it tells you all the dimensions. Basically what you're going to do to make this, you want to do a sketch of that rectangle. And then you extrude that to pull it into 3 dimensions. So you want to make a sketch, and it asks me where you want to sketch. I want to sketch here. And you can click that view to show you where you're sketching. You can make this sketch, and then you need to see like, oh wait, it's ½ an inch by 1.125. So you need to make your part the same size. So if you click this dimension tool, it'll ask you, hey, what do you want a dimension? I want this, and I want it to be 0.5 inches. Then I want this length to be 1.125. Huh? Where does it say it? Right here. Right? Depth is a little on width, and then the height. So that's, I've got this right. This is my sketch done. And I click this corner and show me 3D space. Then, now I'm in the 3D world. I want to pull this 2D shape. I want to pull it into 3 dimensions. Well, I want this 3.5, right? That was the height of my block. So that's what I want. Boom. I'm done. That I just made block number 1. Right? That's what that assignment is. So that's one part. 2, you can't. Can you screenshot in your computer? No. So the workaround is you can make Onshape do work. You want to print this, but you want to print it as an image. See this dotted box? As long as your shape is in that dotted box, it'll print a picture of what's in there. So I just download this image. Allow downloads. And if I go here, boom, there's my picture. Now it's important to realize that that's what you need to submit your assignment. You need to add that file. It's not in Google Drive, it's on your computer, so you need to upload it. And it went to downloads. There, that was the top. And then you attach it. That way you'll submit that to me, and I can grade that. But so many people forget to submit their work. I don't want you to work on, try this one. How would you make that? What shape would you sketch first? A circle, right? So you want to sketch that circle, finish that sketch, and then extrude that circle up. But you need to make a new document. So you want to X out of that, go back to the home menu, click Onshape in the top left. This automatically saves, like Google Drive. Make a new one for that cylinder. And keep working. 1 sec. All of last week. So you would be starting at 1.2.3, which is multi-view drawings. Pull up that assignment, and then I can help you explain it.
For the second round.
Yep.
Yeah, this is that.
That's not good.
Yeah,
Go.
I'll
But you need that. I know, I apologize. I'm trying to help 20 of you guys at once. So I'm going to give this to you. I need you to record it, have it saved, but I also need you to write a hard copy. That way, if it ever stops remembering your username, you have it written down, so you'll always know it. So there is your username. It's the same as everyone. MHS 2020 IED. Did it let you in? Okay. And your password will be lowercase. And what was that just your question?
I was also confused about how to do the second one.
The second part, if you open it up, you're going to make the bottom cylinder, the circle that you extrude. On that surface, you're going to draw a square and extrude that up. And on the top surface of the square, you're going to make another circle and extrude that up. And then you have to go in and sketch your holes and make hole cutouts. Does that make sense? So you're going to make a circle and extrude that to make the bottom little cylinder.
So then would it be a 0.5?
The extrude height would be 0.5. There's your diameter of your circle that you can draw.
Okay.
So draw that circle, extrude it 0.5. On top of that circle, draw the square with the appropriate dimension and extrude it however high that is. And then on top of the square, draw a circle, extrude that another 0.5. And once you're done there, see this one. So you want to take one of the virtual blocks.
I still have that, but I filled it in.
Oh, and then
That makes more sense.
Okay? Never want to hear you guys talking about that, especially with students. That's a non-accepting here, I opened two words. If that's what you're working on, but in here, all that you reference, these are where
All the way through is what I did. Basically, what you do is you just.
I told you to pick one of those three blocks and create a multi-view drawing. So what I would do, instead of remaking it, you've already made it. Now you need to make a multi-view drawing. You get on here. Sure. You right click this. Right, that's the part. You create a drawing. This is the standard template. Normally I would have you do a blank one and you have to cross off the front view here, the top view here, the side view here. You do this. If I do that for you, it knows that you understand front view, right view, or top view.
I'm not sure what to do with this.
And you're sure that
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can do that, or you can push the whole button. The whole button. I think it's obviously a chicken. Push one all the way down. You got it?
There we go. Alright, so this is the front of your cylinder. This is looking at the right side. That's the top of it. And there's a 3D view. This is all really the shortcut.
Maybe do the multi.
You
I'm
print
not sure though.
block in,
I'm not sure. Yeah, we do.
and then try again, and it'll actually print the PDF of what you just made. Well, then you just need to download it, keep it for yourself. So, and then here, you attach it. Right? It's not in Google Drive, it's on your computer, so you have to upload it. Save it, download
That
it.
was me. Yeah.
Spin it over.
Alright, click it's just erase it.
You're welcome. The only thing I need you to do, and for any labor, but like comment
You right click currently. What did you
like
do?
this. That way, when I see it, I can confirm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Charlie.
Make sure when I agree.
You wanna do it?
Because I already get the
Parodies and
feeling.
kick.
But when you comment, it reminds me like, hey, his assignment is gone. I'll make sure you. You're welcome. The other next thing.
why does he not say?
I just,
This
more
one is the
convenient,
same
bro.
thing.
I like the double fan.
I don't.
This one, really, all you're doing is you're gonna make a part. You're gonna make multi-view, but then add dimensions.
I did the.
So you start at step.
So what, did you do it all in one sketch? I usually do the sketches.
You want to make.
Go back to switch them. Sketch one.
So this is what you'll have to make.
So it tells you the dimensions, right? But this is 2 blocks, that's 1 inch, 2 inch, that's 3 inches. So you make this object for them to use dimensions. Use that multi-view trick and make a multi-view of this. Then in the multi-view drawing, you use the dimensions that are on top and actually add dimensions to your drawing. So it'll be a multi-view but with added dimensions.
Okay.
What was your question? You finished all of it? So you have the screenshot of the first model, and then the PDF dimension. Okay, did you submit it already? Oh wow. Submit to Classroom, right? Okay, perfect then. Okay.
So is there no way to like get them all like they want to?
centers.
Is there no way to get them all there
Yeah.
otherwise?
I don't know.
I'll just be-
So then you go
Shut up.
here, fill it with this.
That
You
is
want edges, right? You want this edge, this edge.
You're so stupid.
Your documents. So the numbers you've been typing in all inches.
I don't think that's a good thing. It's somehow. Same.
No, file. Okay, so you're just converting every time. The other thing you can do is change your workspace everywhere. It's moving. So I just typed in 5 and it knows I'm talking. But that's that fillet tool, right? So and you just click the fillet tool and then click all the edges you want to work on. And then the last one is the chamfer. You want to chamfer this bottom edge. So you click the chamfer tool, saying, hey, what edge do you want to chamfer? I want this whole bottom edge. I want it to be a distance and an angle. 5 millimeter, 30 degrees. So what? Well, I don't actually know if it's something in particular. It's more like a certain shape that uses those features, but basic. So all you're dealing with now, so you need to print that. The first one, I only needed a screenshot to do the download image, and I'll give you an image of that. That's file 1. The next step we need is to make that. I think it's step 9, but get them to you. Like, no, I'm sorry. Oh, you only do all that? Okay. So this one. There. It was missing that word. Did you do it here? I don't know. This was. Oh yeah, 2 of them. Yeah, that was from the first one. Is that the right one? Yeah. Okay, that's all you did. Yeah, it was doing 2 of the same thing on top of each other. But yeah, that when you revolves can be weird. It's not as clear to the software like how you want to merge stuff. So you have to put that like merge with all. Yeah. this should be. So what I would do, so there's this might be something like there's the corner rectangle, one corner and place another corner. There's also a center. I know I want my rectangle to be centered there, and I can do whatever I want, and then I can dimension 0.5, 0.5. Right? And that was that sketch. That sketch was this extrusion. And the new sketch was that. Now the only problem is so the radius or the diameter is 1.2. So when you make your sketch, this needs to be half of it. Because you take that shape, right? If that's your shape, you're going to go like this. So you want this length to be half of my circle, so that when it finishes, it has the other half of here. This guy we want to change to 0.75. No, we want this divided by 2. 0.68. And this, right, if you're revolving this, the height of this height is going to be the height of the movement. So that height needs to be 5. Which you have. Oh, that is correct, right? Okay. Yeah, this guy, same thing. Does that make sense? Yes. And then 0.25 is the height. Yep. And then all you're going to do, you want to make it whole. You just kind of create a sketch. Just right here. And then you place a circle. One trick, you get a midpoint, and then come straight up, so that you know your circle is being placed right in the middle. Well, then you need to tell it 0.25 is your dimension. So I want this to be 0.25. The only problem is you can move this up and down. Well, I don't want it. So then how are you going to fix it? It would be half an inch above this line. How would you force that circle to be half an inch above the top of that circle? How would you do that? Dimension. Use your dimension. That guy, yep. Now put the two things you want to dimension. You want to dimension from there. Be careful, that's to the bottom edge of the circle. Your drawing specified to the center of the circle. So you want to just get a state. You want center of the circle to that bottom line. It is like it. Put the 2 points. You'll remember it. There. And then pull it off to the side so you can kind of see it. Place it and set it where you want it. There you go. So now you one is the same alignment, same size. Well, now I'm going to dimension half inch from the center to the bottom, the center of my new, and then just keep going. And then you can extrude those. Remember the extrude remove feature? That'll make those holes all the way through, and then you can just make them. Okay, go back. You see how from the center of your circle to the edge is 0.25? Well, this is. I actually agree with you. They should have the second dimension. They say from the center over is 0.25. Well, you have to assume that that's centered right down the middle. It is, but it's technically I would disagree with the dimension. So you know half of my square is 0.25. Well, when I draw my square, I'm going to dimension it so that it's 0.5. There you go. That's how you know the size of that. The holes, I would sketch on the front surface, create a sketch and create 3 circles, and then make sure to dimension the center of that circle in here is 0.5 and it's 0.25. Make 3 holes, and then you can extrude all 3 of those at once, but you don't extrude add, you extrude remove. You never cut that material out. Oh, what do you need help with?
I was just wondering if I could look at it.
Are you finished? Did you submit your assignment? Yeah, you can go ahead.
I'll just see how big those little circles.
Okay, the circles, the holes, right, in that part, what you want to do is you want to create a sketch on the edge of that face, right, where you want those holes to be. Make a sketch there, and then draw your 3 holes. And then make sure that you dimension the center of the hole from the bottom of that rectangle. Dimension that to 0.5. And then dimension the second hole as 0.5 away from the one you just made. Then keep going. And then size of the hole is listed. If you make those 3 holes, dimension them correctly, you can extrude or remove all 3 of those, and it'll drill holes all the way through. That's kind of the process for making those holes. What do you need help with? What? I thought your hand was up. Are you done? Okay. Also, can I have you put your mask on, please? If you're good, again, this assignment I'm keeping open till midnight as well. So I know if you guys are rushing to finish it, keep working as much as you can, but you guys are going to have till midnight. You still have 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Yeah. Yes, that is for all of us. So all, yep, double chain, yep, there you go. Double chain. There you go. Go back to you. You might be able to do it. It'll know like up and to the right. And then that makes sense? Justin? Yeah. Did you try refreshing? They don't want to guess.
When they work on that computer, they look stuff online too. You said I can extrude, right? Just go right through.
Yes, but you extrude remove. When you click the extrude feature,
Yes.
click it. That's sketch. You don't want that.
They don't make it sketch.
No, extrude. You want to click the extrude button. Instead of new or add, you want to remove. That will take whatever you're selecting and it'll make that into a whole image. Can I have you run down to the library technology window you know? It's a big walk-up window. Talk to Mr. Bordinger. I've had a couple students like Brody. It wouldn't load at all. And Mr. Bordinger can do something to, I think what it does is it tries to go a lot of places to load this and it gets seized up in the network and he can fix that. Just run down there quick. Say you're from Mr. Rensling's class. It's loading, and it won't go anywhere. And it'll be something that should be really quick. But hopefully that'll fix it for you for the future. Andrew? You did them all separate. You see how they're different colors? That means they're different parts. Yeah, you're selecting the wrong face. You want to, right now it's selecting the outside. You want to sketch of the circle. See that? Oh. You fix it?
No, I'm loading on my way now.
Oh, okay. Also, yeah. Well, it says through. Yeah, so that's a note, say, like, hey, for this hole, it goes all the way through. So when you, this guy, the depth is only a half an inch, you want to do up to face. It'll literally ram a hole through anything in its path, basically. Like literally. Technically, when you do through all, it goes an infinite further. Well, you have nothing there, so it doesn't do anything in empty space. That's what it does.
Ooh, no money off for free. Let's eat that.
You only want it one.
Just put it for me.
This should only be 0.5 inches.
Apparently they're like pretty bad. Pretty good.
Just leave it. It's fine. You don't have a dimension.
Motorcycle I used to ride.
Dimension. Yeah, you should have dimensioned it from like the center of this hole when you sketched it. So it should be dimensioned like half an inch away from this. That way, if I change the size of the bottom, it just moves my dimension around like automatically on this one. But just the way you have it is but that's fine. Just go ahead. Now, yeah, place the four views, shortcut. Depending on how you drew it, it should be correct. And then all you'll need for it is just a well, I think this dimensioning feature, the drawing, gets bogged down, particularly when everything. Oh, I need you're just gonna leave or the office is gonna okay, as long as I need to pass from them in order to let you give me one email, but that's fine. There you go. Now you just add your here, yep, and just start adding dimensions. Basically, yeah, make it look like that. Like, oh, they dimension the outer radius on top. And throw that dimension. It'll just be copy paste. Yes. You got a dimension. So you got to go add your dimensions to make it look like the my PLTW. Command Shift T will open do this. Add dimensions so that this dimension is yes, but you have to manually put those dimensions on yourself. Oh yeah, so that's one where you got to use the scale. So this whole the big this rectangular square. Hi there. Okay, thank you. Luke, I'll be with you in a second. You see that first cutout, right? So you're going to draw a sketch on top, and you want that dimension to be however big it is here. So that looks like 2.5 inches by 2 inches. So you're going to draw from this corner. Right? And then you're going to cut that out. So you actually do an extrude remove this shape. Well, how far down do you go? If you look here, how far is that depth? One box, 0.5. So you know, like, oh. Done. Now I need to do another one. I need to do this smaller rectangle. Well, you now do this. You read those dimensions. 1.5 inches by 2 inches, and then how deep is it? 1. So you do the same thing. You're going to make a sketch here now. Make sure to draw it from the corner. You dimension that, the size that is, and then when you extrude it, extrude remove by 1 inch, and then you're good. And then you can draw a hole on that surface and keep going.
I don't know about the double measure.
1 second. Sure, I got a pass for you. Luke, it looks like in 10 minutes. So, will you send me an email, Luke? Just say, like, can I get the work for ICP today? Because I gotta keep helping people in this class. Send me that email to remind me, and I'll get it to you, like, over lunchtime or by the end of the day. Okay, so we haven't gotten here yet. There's this menu down here is a bunch of coincidence makes 2 different things like on top of each other. You didn't do this the first time. You didn't say, hey, I want the center of my circle in my origin point. It takes 2 points or 2 lines and it sets them exactly in line. So,
Yeah, I did. Okay.
make it be they yeah. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Also, I don't know that. Yeah, I always recommend that method. Confirm what part it is, and then make it. Sometimes I think what it's doing is it doesn't know what the part is, so it can't create it. You have to make the document, then select the part you want, and then create.
So you want this in copy?
Yes, you need the dimension though.
Oh.
Right? You want to add the dimension. Where's my PLTW? Here. You just need to add these dimensions. Hold it right there. The wall prep, I need dimension top of it. Dimension overall height. This, that, this, that, this. Just throw those dimensions in so that it looks good. It helps you because it tells you what dimensions you should include. Remember the dimension tool here? And then you would go on this edge to this edge.
Right, yeah, if I can get
Then
maybe
I want the size of my circle. I want the size of this circle. And just keep placing it. Trevor, go ahead and try refreshing that. Ready, are you done?
Yeah, I just gotta get the picture. And then I can put it back.
You tried refreshing that?
Yeah, I did twice. I hope it's not the same thing.
I was just gonna say. There it goes. Yeah, guys, the drawings. Sometimes when you guys, I know a lot of you have tried to create your part drawing, and it just sits and loads. Sometimes you need to refresh your browser, that page, refresh it like once, maybe twice, in order for it to like load. I think it's because we're all on shape on the same internet access, and it gets clogged essentially. So that's just something to be aware of.